Hey everybody, I was going to show you a video of how I use, this is a Noble NB4, this is not the Pro, this is the regular Noble, and a Castle speed control for no prep and how you can do tuning with this. What you have here under the settings here, if I go to channel speed, if you go to channel speed right there, do you see front? See 2.5? That means whatever time you have set there, that's 2.5 seconds from when you pull the throttle. It's going to take 2.5 seconds to get to 100% throttle. So I'll go back and you can see that. So if I have it for 2.5 seconds, I had these set high just so you can see it as an example. You can see the channel 2 took 2.5 seconds to get there. Since this radio doesn't have a curve that you can program, what we can do is we can go into the software. So I'm just in demo mode. So I can take a throttle curve, and what you can do, you can change this either linear or curve, and you can start adding points. So if you want to launch at say 20%, and then you want to bring it in a little more slowly, you can add as many points here as you would like and click and drag them around. On curve, if you change it to linear, it does it more in a step function, which I think you can see some of the radios do that. And you could actually save this. It's just a Excel file, a file that you can edit in Excel, and you can change these points even in Excel. You can do it on this screen. So either way, but whatever time you have set in here, so if I have this one set at 2.5 seconds, what it's going to do is it's going to go from 0 to 100, and it's going to follow this curve, and it's going to go 2.5 seconds to get from here to here. So one of the limitations that I have here in this radio is if you go to channel speed, you can only change this by 1/10 of a second. You can't do 2.45. You got 2.5, 2.4. So what I have found is, actually, let me step back. So that's one limitation. So I'm going to go back out of here, and what I have done is I've gone into assign, and for the wheel number 4, which is this bottom one, I've set throttle go speed in a step of 1. And so if you do that, what you have is, so I can roll this wheel, and so if you actually go up to 100, take a second to get there. If I go up to 100, 100 is 0 seconds. You can see instant throttle, 0 to 100. And 0 on this is 10 seconds, so 50 on this is 5 seconds. So if I set that to 50, it's going to take 5 seconds to get to 100. And you can confirm that by going back to channel speed. There it is, 5 seconds. So if you're out there messing with your car, you can take this scroll wheel and you can just bump 1 or 2, and that'll add 1/10 of a second to your curve. There's a curve, and then this is the time. Now, here comes one of the tricks here. So this is 5 seconds, and this is going to go from, let me point with a pin, this is going to go from 0 to 100, because that's where I have the endpoint set. So if you actually change the throttle endpoint, let's change it all the way to 120 just for this example, and go back. What this means now is it's going to go from 0 to the 120, and it's going to take 5 seconds to go from 0 to 120. See that? So what that meant was it actually hit 100% throttle before 5 seconds. Even though I have it set for 5 seconds, it hit 100% throttle for less than 5 seconds. So this is how you can hit those intermediate points. And I made a little spreadsheet here just so you can see what I'm talking about. So up here, if you have it set for 1 second, right, and the endpoint of 100, it'll get there in 1 second. If you have it set for 101, it'll actually get there in 0.990 seconds, and so on and so forth. So you can see, you have a lot of flexibility. If you want to hit some of these numbers between 1.1 and 1.2, if you were really trying to dial it in there, you have some flexibility and some overlaps in the settings with that endpoint adjustment. And so that's how I do it with the endpoint adjustment, your throttle curve, which you can add as many points as you want, and then throttle time here by setting this. So I'm going to go 75. 75 is 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds, but that's going to be 2.5 seconds to 120. So let's set that. Let's go back to channel speed. Let's set that at 2 seconds. So which is a setting of 80 on there. I should have known that. So up on this curve, because I have it set at 120, you can see it's actually going to take 1.667 seconds to hit 100. Anybody want to, you can do a slow motion on the video if you want to see it, but there's 100, but it got to 120. So, yep, that's how I do it. Good luck.